Hi everybody, it's Diana with Stamping with Di. Welcome to my YouTube channel and this week's Mimeograph Monday with a Twist. And I'm going to do a quick card out of the brand new catalog that starts tomorrow. So speaking of that, make sure that you come back tomorrow for my Teach Me Tuesdays, because we will be doing a flip through to show you all the amazing things that are going to be available. So that's what we're going to do. So today I'll be doing two projects or more. We'll see, at least two. And if you are new to my channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. My name is Diana, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm in Santan Valley, Arizona. So welcome. So Mimeograph Monday with a Twist, just in case you are new. I'm going to do a project out of the Stampin' Up! Catalog. Sometimes it's a card that is in my online store, and then I'll do a twist on it. And this has been a very popular series. If there's ever anything that you want me to do, just holler at me and I'll try to do my best. And yeah, so it's really fun. I like a good challenge. And sometimes if you need a challenge, sometimes it's fun to start out with something first that you can look at a picture and go, okay, I can make that. And then you just turn it into, twist it to its more of your taste, or just have fun with it. So that's what we're going to do today. All right, so I'm going to stop blabbing so I can get started. So close your eyes for a second while I get my camera adjusted. So I'm going to be using the Beautiful Gallery 6x6. Oh my gosh, this paper, the name is perfect. And I have showed it before when I did my unboxing probably, but this is just gorgeous. So it's artwork, and then it's turned into designer series paper. So there's all sorts of different scenes in there. And then the backs are a little more plain. And they're just awesome. And you can even see like the canvas texture in them. So they're really, really fun. So that's what I'm going to use today, at least for the Stampin' Up! One. I haven't decided on my twist if I'm going to use the same paper or not. And then this is, I have done a similar card like this before, and I called it tri-panel, so it's very similar style to this. All right, and then the stamp set that I'm going to use for the greeting is the Right Words. This is a really nice one because it has a lot of sayings that go together, and it's got some really pretty fonts, and you can mix and match them. They go good together, but they do have a little oh my gosh, my words just sometimes fail me. The fonts are very similar, so you kind of know what goes with which, but that does not mean you have to stick with that. So you've got Happy Birthday. So this font right here is the same font over here. So it goes Happy Birthday to someone we're celebrating every single day. So you can have an outside and an inside. So you it just kind of helps you. So you got Thinking of You, and then this is the same font a lot. So just kind of, if you're not sure, that kind of helps. And so anyways, but yeah, so I'm going to use this, and this is the paper that I'm using, and this is so gorgeous. I just want to frame this like this because this would go so well in our guest room, and I might just find a 6x6 frame and do just that because this is 6x6. All right, now I'm using Basic Beige as my card base. And I have a little piece of Petal Pink that's my greeting's going to go on. Now I cut this paper in half at 3 inches. And then I cut this one at 1 3/4. Where's my ruler here? Oh my gosh, I had it over at my cutting station. Okay, so yes, 1 3/4. And then these are 1 inch. So all I did was cut 3 inches, and then I just turned it. And I went 1 3/4, 1 inch, hang on a minute, get that picked up. Then you go 1 inch and 1 inch. So that's how I got the pieces for this card. So it's very similar, like I said, to the tri-panel cards I've done, but I did them a little bit bigger. They took up more of the card, but I love how this looks, where it's just it's just smaller, so you see a lot more of the actual card. All right, so I'm going to put this on with dimensionals, and I just have some dimensionals here from a kit, so they're perfect because they're long and skinny. So I thought these were perfect for this. And where are my snips? Okay. And then I also want to do my greeting, and then I want to see how good I mounted this. So I'm going to stamp my greeting on here, and I want to see how good I mounted it. So I'm just going to stamp on my grid sheet to see how good, because I'm going to look at the sticker. And I can see this is a little high. So then I know when I come over here and stamp, I need to just tweak it a little bit. And then I'll be straight. All right. Because sometimes I get the sticker on good, sometimes I don't. So that's just a little trick to do that. All right, so let's bring our card over, and we'll start putting our pieces on. And this paper was perfect because it has this line here, so it makes it easy to line up. And I need to make a bunch of cards, so this is a perfect layout. It is a perfect way to use up that designer series paper. And show off that amazing artwork. And I'm just putting a little space in between. So having that line there really helps. And I'm going to move that up a little bit because you're not going to see this one. See, it's a little bit skinnier, but I kind of like that because you can spread them apart, you can make them skinny, you can do however you want. But I'm going to put this here so you won't see that line or whatever. All right, and I'm going to put some green tip glue, and I'm going to put my green tip glue here so that because I don't want any glue in the crack, so I'm just putting it on there. And then this just goes along here like that, and I'm just kind of looking at it. It looks pretty straight. And then let that sit up a little bit. Now there's no bling on this or anything. Okay, and then we're just going to turn this over and use the edge of the card right here, and then just trim that, and that is it. That is it. So wasn't that quick? All right, so now let's do the twist. So I'm going to play around with that same designer series paper. So I'm going to make a few more because these are fun, and like I said, I need to do some cards. All right, so I'm going to use the other side of that designer series paper that I cut in half. So I'm going to use this side, and since this is my twist, I'm going to put a little piece on the inside. So this card is petal pink because it goes really well with this designer series paper. So I'm just going to put this on the side, on the inside. This one kind of reminds me of like a journal like you would have if you're a gardener or would that be like a botanist or herbiculture? I don't know. I'm a stamper, not a scientist, but where they keep track of, you know, when they plant things and what they do, so then the next year they can go back to that journal and it will say, okay, I planted my roses, whatever, and they were too soon, whatever. So that's what this paper kind of reminds me of, that you might find in that journal. All right, now I cut these, I believe, the same. Let's see. Oh no, I think I did this one a little wider. Oh no, 1 3/4 and 1 1. So I did do these the same. I did some other ones that I did a different the thickness. All right, let me get some more of this because I really like that thicker and that, the ease of that. All right. And we also have these strip adhesives as well. I'm just, like I said, I had these left over from a kit. So I've been trying to use up stuff, and I hope you do the same thing. All right. Okay. And then I'm going to stamp my greeting on vanilla this time, and I'm going to use the I miss you already greeting instead. Okay, so let that dry a little bit, and I just stamped that with Memento. All right, so we know the thick one is the top one, and I might have mixed and matched these when, here we go, because that's one thing you want to keep track of is the order. And some paper it's easy to tell, but some paper it's not. So if you're going to do a whole bunch, like if I'm making a whole bunch of these cards, I cut them and then I stack them together. So like I would cut them and I would stack them together. I wouldn't cut a bunch of these and stack all these because you might be off a little bit when you cut the next one, or the paper could be printed not quite identical on each one, and then it wouldn't line up. All right, so I'm going to put a little bigger space because you definitely want, you know, when I'm making a whole bunch of cards, I like to cut a whole bunch at one time, but you just want to make sure, because normally I would just stack. But when you're doing almost like a puzzle, right, you want to make sure you keep your pieces together. All right, so I'm going to put this on like I did before. But I think I'm going to find some bling to stick on this. All right, so I miss you already. I love that vanilla. I don't use vanilla enough. And this card really called for those softer, you know, kind of colors. All right, let's see what I have on my desk, because I always have bling on my desk. Now, what do I have over here? This is the, what is this? This is the Starburst sequence. So, let's see, even though I use vanilla, okay, so I'm going to use a star, what did I say they were? Oh my gosh, Diana. Starburst sequence. So I'm going to use these, but we have Old Olive in this cardstock, DSP. So I don't want white, yellow, or the pink. So I'm just going to take my Stampin' Blends and I'm going to add a little bit of Old Olive on a few of my little starburst. So that's what's really fun about the Stampin' Blends. You can color your embellishments. You can color ribbon. All right, so I'm going to trim that like I did before. I just want to make sure that this is good and dry. So I'm just kind of making sure that that doesn't come off on my skin. All right. And then just go plop, plop, plop. And I could have put more, but so that looks kind of cool. A little bit of color on there. All right, so let's do another one. All right. So this time I'm doing this flower. And again, I have a inside for my card. I did the basic beige again. Now these roses, again, you want to make sure you keep them together. So they go like that. And I did cut these ones a little different. I believe I did 2, 1, and 1. And I will measure them in a second. All right. Okay. And we'll put this on the inside. But oh my gosh, I had not done this in a long time. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to do more of these, because I did. I had so many done because they are quick. And they're easy to make where you can add the greeting later. Like I could just make up a whole bunch of these cards and they're in my bin ready to go. So when I need a birthday card, a thank you card, whatever, and then all I have to do is stamp the little greeting and put it on the front. All right. All right, so these measurements are, yeah, so 2, 1, and 1. So the top one is 2. I'm trying to keep them in order. And then I did 1 and 1. Now you can do the same thing. Now I'm just using designer series paper because I did, this is Mimeograph Monday with a twist. So that card that was in the catalog used the designer series paper. And I'm just using the same pad of paper. And I'm just changing it up a little bit. But this would be fun too with even a stamped image. You know, once you get it already, just, cut it up and, put it on the card like that. All right, so here we have, again, make sure I didn't mess these up. Oh my gosh, I think I did. All right, that goes like that. And that goes like that. So see, I almost put it on wrong. So just double check. Okay. So this one. And sometimes if you're going to do a whole bunch, just number them. Because you could take a pencil, really light on the back, and just go 1, 2, 3. If you're not sure. Okay. But I love this paper too. All right. And then what do I do with my greeting? Oh, I lost my greeting. All right. Oh, did I not? I didn't do a greeting. Oh my gosh, Diana. I did a greeting with the other card. All right, so I'm going to do the I miss you already again because I just love that font. And that's just a cute little saying. All right. So I'm going to do the same thing. I love how it looks. I love that split so much. I just love, love, love this style. All right, so we're going to do the same thing. A little glue. Little glue. And then I have one more to do, and I changed it up. All right, so I miss you already. So this has got vanilla and white in this card. So you can kind of see vanilla and white. So I'm going to use those same blings, but I'm not going to color them. And that's just going to emphasize the white. It's going to pull the white out from the card. So 1, 2. And I like these because they're nice and flat. All right, so they kind of trickle down the side. So there's that one. And then I have one more. And I'm using Basic Beige again. I don't use Basic Beige enough. And it's just such a fun color, and it just looks different depending on what colors you put with it. All right, now this time I trimmed my paper because I want it to go this way. So I trimmed the house. So we have the house. So this is more like the tri-panel card. So this is the one you have to make sure you didn't mess them up. This is more like the tri-panel card that I did because I had them going this direction. All right. So see, you've got that house there. All right. So I'm going to do the same thing. Put our dimensionals on there. I'm probably almost running out of these long ones. Okay. You can always cut these edge. So this is a good one with that house because I'm going to do that I miss you already. So that would be a really fun one that you could send somebody. Like maybe you were visiting at their house. And you could send them, you know, the little house card and just say, oh, I miss you already. My niece and my sister just got back from, oh my gosh, they were gone a long time. They went to Germany and Paris. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, did you ever think that you would ever be these places? And they said no. Just like us, Jeff and I, like, never in our wildest dreams, when we first got married, would we ever think that we have been to Italy and Alaska and Bermuda and Fiji and all sorts of places. All right, so I'm going to, now this one I'm going to do a little bit different. I'm going to put this one in the center. So I'm going to go center. Okay. And then work my way over. And then go over here. So I'm going to put a little different spacing just because I love that little bit of different spacing there. So it's just not all even. And I'm going to do I Miss You Already. Now this one, you're going to see those lines. So I'm going to put my I Miss You Already along here, like that. And I'm going to have it go the length of the card. So you're just going to see a little bit peeking out. That's set up a little bit. And I love that little, you've got a little bare spot over here. And I don't know if I'm going to put any bling or not on this one. All right, I think it doesn't take too long for that green tip glue to set up. So I don't have a whole lot to trim. But I like that it goes the whole way, which makes you, visually look at the card, as well. All right, so let me show you the different cards. So we did, here's the catalog version here. And then I did a few twists. So they're not super different. It's that same, I'm just going to call them tri-panel because that's basically what I called them. But I love how they look, and I love how you can see these. So I think I might make some more, and I might move my greeting elsewhere, or maybe I'll put a different shape. Let me see here. What do I have over in? I have like one of my little this little guy. So these are like all my little dies, like when I have like, oh, I cut too many. So see, this might look cute. So if you put it up here, then you'll still like see the lines. Like I think that might be fun, just to switch the die, a little bit now that I messed my camera up here. There we go. So yeah, so this is what I usually, like this is a little cute one too. So that could so there's all sorts of different ways to do this. All right, so let me say, see you later. So we're going to Disney soon. Boo! So I thought, well, I better start wearing my Disney shirt so I can throw them all in the wash one last time before we have to pack. But anyway, so hopefully you like this. I'm going to have to make some more of these. And this paper is perfect for it because it's just so gorgeous. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you have done this before. You'll have to search back on my channel, go up to the little search thing and pull up, I think it was tri-panel. I think that's what I called them, or panel cards. But anyway, it's just fun. Just your paper cutter, and I really kind of like that house, how it does that where it's not even, and the card is like, I didn't make it be even Steven, which is not normal for me. Like usually I like things I'm very anal, I'm very particular, so I kind of like how that one edge is a little thicker than the other. So anyways, all right, I'm going to stop blabbing. I will see you tomorrow for my Teach Me Tuesdays. And that will be at 3 o'clock Arizona time, same channel. And remember, we're going to do the catalog flip through. So make sure you're ready to order tomorrow. I am sure things will, it'll be very, very busy. I'm sure there's some things that are going to, like that turtle DSP. I think that is going to, I'm sure it won't sell out the first day, but I think it's going to be very popular because it's super cute. And so yeah, I think this paper will be as well. All right, so I'm going to stop blabbing. I got to go buy some new sneakers for Jeff. So I got to get my butt out of the door. All right, so I will see you tomorrow. Have a great night. Bye for now.